Hello everyone, today I will take you to see how Japanese fishermen catch giant eels and sea snakes. While sea snakes bring high value in high-class cuisine, eels are also one of the seafood with great economic value, popular in Japanese restaurants. On modern fishing boats, Japanese fishermen use two main methods to catch hundreds of eels every day: longline fishing and bottom trawl net. Each method has its own characteristics, suitable for the sea conditions and living habits of this fish species. Catching eels with long lines, patience and technique. The long line method is a traditional but still extremely effective way to hunt eels. Fishermen use fishing lines hundreds of meters long, with hundreds of baited hooks. Eels are nocturnal predators, so fishermen usually cast their lines in the evening and harvest them early the next morning. As the sun rises, the crew begins to pull up the lines. And each eel weighing from 2 to 5 kilograms is caught on the hook, thrashing around on the deck. Unlike many other fish, eels have long, slippery bodies, making it more difficult to collect and remove the fish. Fishermen must wear non-slip gloves and use specialized clamps to hold the fish firmly when removing the hooks. Although long lines are not as productive as trawls, they help fishermen select large eels and do not harm the marine environment. This is a method favored by many traditional Japanese fishermen. Bottom trawls, a race against time. While long lines require patience, bottom trawls are a race against time. Giant nets are cast to the seabed, sweeping through areas where many eels hide. When the net is pulled up, hundreds of eels are herded into the end of the net, creating a spectacular sight. However, this is also the most difficult step, because eels have long, flexible and very strong bodies. They can easily escape the net if not pulled up in time. The fishermen must coordinate smoothly, use high-powered net-pulling machines, and quickly sort the fish right on the deck. After harvesting, the eels are preserved in a system of seawater tanks right on the ship, keeping them alive to ensure freshness. The qualified eels will be transported immediately to large seafood markets such as Toyosu Market in Tokyo, where they are auctioned at extremely high prices. Especially those with large sizes and smooth skin. Eel, a high-class dish in Japanese cuisine. Eel is not only highly valued for its nutrition but also for its special flavor. One of the most famous dishes made from eel is unagi kabiyaki, grilled eel with sweet sauce, often served with white rice. To prepare this dish, the eel is cleaned, marinated with a special sauce of soy sauce. Mirin and sugar, then grilled over hot coals until the skin is crispy while the meat inside is still soft and sweet. In addition, eel is also used to make sushi, hot pot or soup, depending on the region of Japan. Because of this high culinary value, eel is always in high demand in the market, making fishing one of the important jobs for fishermen. The future of eel fishing. Like sea snakes, eels are facing the risk of declining numbers due to overfishing. The Japanese government has adopted many conservation measures, such as limiting the annual catch to avoid depleting fish stocks, developing eel farms to meet market demand without over-exploiting the wild, protecting eel spawning areas, ensuring they have enough time to develop before being exploited, despite many challenges. With improvements in fishing techniques and increasing awareness of environmental protection, eel hunting will continue to exist. Have you ever heard of sea snake dishes? Many people may feel apprehensive because sea snakes are known as one of the most dangerous animals in the world. However, in some areas of Japan, especially Okinawa, sea snakes have been a part of local cuisine for hundreds of years. This is not only a dish but also has historical and medicinal value. Today, we will explore how Japanese fishermen hunt sea snakes, a job that requires both skill and dangerous challenges. They use many different methods, from free diving, trapping, to sea snake fishing, a unique and rare technique. Sea snakes, part of Japanese cuisine. Japanese cuisine has always been famous for its sophistication and richness, and sea snakes are one of the unique ingredients of the Okinawa region. Although not a popular dish nationwide, in places like Okinawa, it is considered a rare delicacy, often appearing in traditional meals or health-enhancing dishes. Local fishermen have many ways to catch sea snakes, but the manual method is still the most popular. They often dive into shallow waters near coral reefs to catch snakes by hand or using nets. Some experienced fishermen can determine where sea snakes hide just by observing the water currents and crevices in rocks. Manual method of hunting sea snakes. Hunting sea snakes requires patience and high skills. The ideal time to catch this species is at night, when they are most active. Fishermen must be fully prepared with equipment such as diving lights, anti-toxic gloves, and specialized snake-catching tools. Some experienced fishermen can catch sea snakes with their bare hands. However, because sea snakes have extremely strong venom, they must be very careful with every move. A small mistake can lead to dangerous consequences. Divers often search for sea snakes in crevices of rocks at depths of 5 to 15 meters. When they find a snake, they will use an iron hook or net to catch them. To outsiders, this may seem extremely dangerous, but for experienced fishermen, they understand the habits of sea snakes. This species usually does not attack humans unless directly threatened. Sea snake fishing technique, a special method. In addition to the direct catching method, some fishermen also use sea snake fishing techniques. Unlike fish, sea snakes are not easily hooked, so special methods are needed to attract them. The bait is usually small fish such as anchovies, sardines or fresh squid, favorite dishes of sea snakes. Once hooked, fishermen must pull the line gently to avoid scaring the snake and causing it to struggle. After removing the snake from the water, they will quickly put it in a net bag to avoid being bitten. Economic value of sea snakes. In Japan, sea snakes are not only a food but also have great economic value. Fishermen in Okinawa can earn a stable income by catching and supplying sea snakes to high-end restaurants, fish markets, and food processing facilities. The price of fresh sea snakes ranges from 5.00 to 10 yen per kilogram, equivalent to 800.00 to 1.60.000 Vietnamese dongs per kilogram. Sea snakes after being processed into dried food or medicine can reach much higher prices. Processing sea snakes, from food to medicine. In Okinawa, sea snakes are processed into many different dishes, the most famous of which is sea snake soup. To make this dish, the snake is first smoked, then stewed with pork, kelp, and local vegetables. This dish has a particularly rich flavor, is rich in nutrients, and is said to have a tonic effect on the body, not only used as food. Sea snake is also an important ingredient in traditional medicine. Snake meat is believed to help increase blood circulation, reduce fatigue, and improve overall health. That is why sea snakes are not only consumed domestically but also exported to countries such as China, Taiwan, and some Southeast Asian countries. Catching and processing sea snakes is a traditional occupation of Japanese fishermen, especially in Okinawa, although this job is potentially risky. It provides a stable source of income for many families. At the same time, sea snakes also play an important role in Japanese cuisine and traditional medicine. The dangers of sea snake hunting. Despite the high income, sea snake hunting is not easy. Fishermen face many risks, from harsh weather conditions, strong waves to dangers from the snakes they hunt. After witnessing the arduous eel hunt, we continue to follow the Japanese fishermen on their journey to sea, where they face harsh challenges to catch hundreds of tons of seafood every day. For them, the sea is not only a source of life, but also a place to test their strength, perseverance and solidarity. Japan has long been famous for its large-scale seafood fishing industry, using modern fishing vessels equipped with advanced machinery systems. However, despite the support of technology, working at sea is still not easy. Storms, big waves, short fishing seasons and fierce competition make each trip a real battle with nature. Giant fishing boats, hunting machines on the ocean. Japanese fishing boats are up to hundreds of meters in size, specially designed for each type of seafood. There are boats specializing in catching tuna, salmon, and boats specializing in squid, octopus or scallops. Each ship is a continuously operating machine, with dozens to hundreds of fishermen working non-stop. They have to take shifts to operate equipment, check fishing nets, and process seafood right on board to ensure quality. Some ships use giant purse seines. Others use bottom trawls or hand lines, depending on the type of seafood they are catching. But no matter what method, the common point is still hard work, danger and uncertainty, race against time, when the storm approaches. While fishing, the weather is always the biggest threat. Offshore storms can appear suddenly, bringing strong winds, rough waves and heavy rain. If fishermen cannot collect their nets and move to safe waters in time, they may face the tragedy of sinking their ships, something no one wants but is always a risk. Whenever there is a storm warning, all fishermen have to race against time. The giant nets are pulled up as fast as possible. Hundreds of tons of fish are transferred to the cold storage. On the deck, the crew work at maximum speed, trying to complete every step before the storm hits. Waves 5 to 10 meters high crash against the hull, causing the ship to rock violently. But for veteran fishermen, this is not an unfamiliar thing. They understand that every trip to sea is a gamble with nature. where only the strongest can survive. From the ocean to the table, the journey of Japanese seafood. After many days at sea, the giant fishing boats finally dock. The fresh seafood is immediately transported to Toyosu Fish Market, the largest seafood market in Japan. This is where intense auctions take place, where chefs, restaurants and traders compete. For the best fish to serve diners. From eel, tuna, salmon to squid, octopus and scallops, each type of seafood has its own value. Giant fish with firm, fresh meat can be sold for hundreds of millions of dong. Then, seafood is processed into countless famous Japanese dishes such as tuna and salmon sashimi, fresh, fatty slices of fish, hand-cut by professional chefs. Fresh seafood sushi, a delicate combination of seafood and Japanese sticky rice. Seafood hot pot, where fish, shrimp, and squid are cooked together with a sweet broth, creating a rich dish. Charcoal grilled seafood, a simple way of cooking but retains the original flavor of the ocean. Japanese fishermen, silent warriors of the ocean. Few people know that to have delicious dishes on the table, fishermen have to pay with sweat, tears, and even their lives. They face fierce waves, harsh storms, and cold weather, but still persevere to go to sea because of their passion and responsibility for their families. They are not only fishermen, but also guardians of tradition and ocean protection. With the development of the seafood industry, Japan is also striving to maintain the balance between fishing and protecting natural resources. Strict regulations on fish size, fishing seasons, and conservation areas are gradually helping the marine ecosystem develop more sustainably. Small Diamond, do you admire the spirit of Japanese fishermen? Small Diamond, which seafood dish do you like the most? Leave a comment below. Transition. Scallop fishing journey at Sea Wave Shell. After witnessing Japanese fishermen conquering the ocean to hunt for eels, we continue our journey to explore another important and challenging fishing industry, scallop fishing. Giant ships glide across the deep blue sea, entering resource-rich waters where scallop reefs lurk beneath the icy waters. This is one of the industries that brings huge economic value to Japan, the United States and many other coastal countries. The hunt for sea pearls. Unlike fish or squid that can swim, scallops lie still on the seabed, hidden in the sand and mud. To harvest them, fishermen must use special methods. Small diamond dredging, heavy metal nets, dragged along the seabed, harvesting thousands of scallops at a time. Small diamond manual diving, a traditional method but still used in some places, where divers personally harvest the largest scallops. The fishing process not only requires high techniques but also requires precise calculation of the time and area of exploitation. If overfished, the scallop reefs will be depleted, seriously affecting long-term resources. Therefore, fishing vessels must comply with strict regulations on output and seasonality, ensuring the sustainable development of scallops. On board, on-site processing to preserve freshness. After the nets are pulled up, Tons of scallops are transferred straight to the deck. This is where a rigorous process is carried out to keep the scallops fresh. Checkmark. Size screening. Scallops that are too small are released back into the sea to continue growing. Checkmark. Shell cleaning. Scallops are washed to remove sand and impurities. Checkmark. Quick freezing. To ensure the sweetness and freshness of the scallop meat. Some ships use modern freezing systems right on board. Checkmark. Onboard processing. Some ships even have a team of workers who specialize in processing the scallops, separating the meat to prepare it for packaging and export. All this work takes place in a harsh environment, amid big waves and the bitter cold of the sea. But for experienced fishermen, this is part of life, a job that brings pride and ensures a livelihood for them and their families. Economic value. Expensive sea pearls. Scallops are one of the most valuable seafood, especially large scallops from Japan, the US and Canada. Scallops caught from the sea often have sweet, firm meat and are sought after by high-end restaurants to prepare into premium dishes. Fork and knife with plate. Scallop sashimi, a Japanese delicacy.